UFC 146 is the first ever all-heavyweight card, breaking the previous record of 4 fights on the main card set back in 2000 at UFC 28. In the opening fight of the night, we have the tallest UFC fighter in history taking on an explosive new addition to the heavyweight roster. Introducing first, a man who has taken the division by storm here in 2012 with 2 huge knockout of the nights in the last 4 months. He has a 17-5 record in mixed martial arts and has finished all 17 of his pro victories. Please welcome LeVar Johnson. His opponent, incredibly, can be called a UFC veteran at just 24 years of age. Fighting out of the Netherlands, he has an MMA record of 23-5. 10 of those appearances have come inside the octagon. At 6 feet 11 and 1/2 inches tall, he has used his length en route to a pair of Submission of the Night awards. Please welcome the skyscraper, Stefan Struve. All right, in the second fight on the main card, we have a battle of unbeatens and emerging UFC talents. First, fighting out of Irvine, California, he has an unblemished record of 11-0 and has done it with style points, finishing all 11 of his opponents. He is thrilled to be making his UFC debut. Please welcome to the UFC, Shane Del Rosario. His opponent, fighting out of Cleveland, Ohio, is one of the most accomplished athletes to enter the UFC. He was a NCAA Division I wrestler, a Golden Gloves boxing champion, and also was part of a collegiate baseball championship team. But his real talent lies in MMA, where he is 8-0 with 7 stoppages. He is the owner of the 5th fastest knockout in UFC heavyweight history. Here is Stipe Miocic. All right, now we move up the main card to a pair of dynamic fighters and personalities. Fighting out of the famed Team Quest camp, he has finished 90% of his opponents in his 21-3 MMA career. He is one of the most aggressive fighters in the division and on the roster. And his last time out against Stefan Struve, he entered the octagon as the hairiest fighter in UFC history. Making his 3rd UFC appearance on Saturday night, please welcome Dave Herman. His opponent, representing Las Vegas, Nevada, he was the Season 10 winner of The Ultimate Fighter. The man possesses a huge right cross that has resulted in a handful of one-punch knockouts, and he is never afraid to tell it like it is. Please welcome the proud Las Vegan Big Country, Roy Nelson. All right, well, today we've already trotted out the tallest fighter in the UFC. Now we have the man who, up until this last fight camp at least, would have been perhaps the heaviest. He has used his size and power to hammer fist his way to 14 finishes in his 16 career wins against only 3 defeats. Finally set to make his UFC debut, he is Antonio Bigfoot Silva. Hitting the stage next is the man many believe is the single most talented heavyweight on the planet. Few in the UFC can match his strike output, and only middleweight champion Anderson Silva can claim to being more accurate with his punches and kicks. He is 9-1 in the UFC and a proud Mexican-American. Fully healed from injury and on a mission to get his gold back, please welcome the former UFC heavyweight champion of the world, Cain Velasquez. Capping off this epic heavyweight main card is the UFC Heavyweight Championship of the world. It pits the undisputed baddest man on the planet against the winningest heavyweight in UFC history. First up, the #1 contender for the UFC heavyweight title. He has taken out a who's who of heavyweights across several different UFC eras, turning back the likes of Tank Abbott, Tim Sylvia, Brock Lesnar, and most recently Minotauro Nogueira. In addition to amassing more wins than any UFC heavyweight, he looks to join Randy Couture and Muhammad Ali as a 3-time heavyweight champion of the world. From Las Vegas, Nevada, and readying for his 20th UFC appearance, how about a hand for the former 2-time UFC heavyweight champion of the world, Frank Mir. All right, now we bring out the most feared puncher in any combat sport worldwide. He has the best boxing skills in the division, perhaps in any UFC division. He is the owner of 5 UFC knockouts, has the highest output of power punches of anyone on the UFC roster, and is quickly becoming a national icon in his native Brazil. He is the consensus baddest man on the planet and the most powerful puncher in all of MMA. Please welcome the UFC heavyweight champion of the world, Junior Dos Santos.